Oh, my mic is on. I didn't realize my mic wasn't muted because there we go. I computer crashed and the audio's not playing. This is a professional operation here, people. Well, how's my audio, folks? I'm going to mute my mic for a second and see if I can get the music going. Hi. That's right. Welcome to a sort of pop-up surprise spur of the moment Saturday 4:09 p.m. Eastern Time live stream of the Coding Train. That's right. It's me, Dan, your friendly neighborhood awkward internet personality, live streaming on a Saturday afternoon with a lot of incredible, unanticipated technical difficulties in getting this thing going. So feeling more unprepared than I did 20 to 30 minutes ago when I decided I've got a moment to just run into the studio and turn the lights on and get this thing going, because I started a project yesterday. And to be honest, what I mean by started a project yesterday is I talked about the idea of a project yesterday for 2.5 hours. And then, or I talked about other things for about an hour and a half. I talked about the idea for an hour. And so I wanted to keep the momentum here. I don't know that the idea that it's my intention to build this entire project entirely while live streaming, but I do feel it's important to kick it off and get it going if I want to make it possible for the community, the viewers like you at home, to be able to contribute and participate. It is 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., everyone, 2 a.m. No one, is there anyone in the chat who is on Eastern time? I would like to know. Maybe it is earlier in the day. Is it morning for, is it early afternoon for anybody? Early morning? Maybe somebody from Hawaii? And, okay. ZDAX wanted to help out. Truebolt asks, hey Dan, I have a question. When will you make a video where you try to make Geometry Dash on an Apple II Plus? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but Eastern Daylight Time represents, says Bill, yeah. That doesn't sound super likely, but not out of the realm of total possibility. I think it's more likely if I were to attempt some kind of version of Geometry Dash as a coding challenge, that would be happening right here on my trusty Apple Macintosh laptop computer. For any of you who are supporters on Patreon or YouTube membership, I've got the Discord chat. I'm going to try to keep my eye on it today. I'm not going to run two simultaneous YouTube chat and YouTube Q&A. So if you've got questions, throw them in the live chat. Just know that basically the way that I interact with the live chat is I kind of peer at it every once in a while. There are some people who have that wrench icon who are moderators who can hopefully help answer some questions. And please try to stay on topic and be friendly and kind to each other in the chat. It's a freckle past a hair. Maybe Tetris. Tetris is really, really missing from the library of coding challenges on the coding train. So let me talk about two things. One, correction time. I don't know if these really count as corrections. Wait a second. What? Okay, hold on. I had some really weird stuff going on here that I do not want to. I messed up my. Okay. Yeah. I put the wrong. I charged the soundboard iPad up, and but I had placed the wrong one in the place with the soundboard. We'll see if we have some sound later. Not that we really need it, because today is a work day. I don't have time to just mess around on a Saturday afternoon. If I'm not taking a nap or playing Monopoly with my children or cooking dinner, I better be doing something productive right here. I started with the nap and then realized, oh, that's not a good look. Naps are underrated for me. Just nothing like a good nap. I'm getting some sounds here, getting some messages. All right. Just bear with me. I'm trying to get the soundboard going. Oh, no. Go. Yes. Sound cue. Okay, hold on. It's happening, people. The iPad I couldn't charge yesterday is charged. Trust. Oh, no. I don't need to do this right now. Just unplug from there. Not now. This is not what I mean to be doing. Welcome to the coding train, where I hook up all the technology of the coding train at the beginning of the live stream. You know what they say? You got to capture the audience's attention right there at the beginning, which is why I usually read random numbers, because that really captures the audience's attention. Well, we're doing that today, people. That's happening. If we can get this going. Just give me a second. We're back, baby. Okay, let's see here. Oh, okay. One 8 6 2 5 2 3 6 7 4 5 3 8 5 0 3 2 8 2 7 8 1 6 4 7 8 0 8 2 0 0 0 4 2 0 6 3 5 5 5 7 4 4 8 9 8 0 1 4 1 7 4 6 2 3 6 8 3 9 4. All right. And with that, I think we really can begin today's episode of The Coding Train. See, all of that manic energy, that frantic neuroticism, it's all melted away. I am here with you. I am the soothing internet coding person who calms your nerves and helps you work through those for loops. Was that music too loud? Okay, sorry. You know how did we get a new, did a new member just join? Did I miss that? Tai Lai! Tai Lai! Welcome to The Coding Train. Come on board, where you will receive your very own random number. Six 7 2 4 1. By the way, everyone should know that I've spent many a year talking about these custom laser etched train whistles that I am making as a token of appreciation, a fun treat to be sent in the mail to supporters and members of the Coding Train, and it's really happening, folks. But the truth is, doing them custom with a custom number and a custom unique random walk has proved to have defeated me. And so I am, I don't want to say mass producing them because that's not exactly accurate, but I'm just having a batch of about 50 of these made. They're all identical. They will be numbered, but they will all have the same algorithmic patterns on them from a few different coding challenges, the Coding Train, and this is for, I can't remember which level, but the conductors or the engineers. So stay tuned. If you're not in the Discord, everyone is welcome and should be in the Discord. That's one of the things that I forgot to show yesterday that I have three corrections from yesterday. But for any of you who are members and are wondering what's happening with your train whistle or your stickers, so if some of you are expecting stickers, please come on into the Discord and make sure you tag me or Station Manager or any of the folks who help out there in the Discord. Okay. Frank asks, are you a professor? Well, technically speaking, I mean, there is a place where you can find the word professor and my name in the same webpage and on the deployment logs of a university. But I don't know. So, at some point, someone's going to, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep that up. But yes, and in fact, I am returning to teaching live and in person at NYU this spring. So I've been on leave for a bit, which has been wonderful. Prathamesh, great to see you there in the Discord chat. And I'm going back to teaching. All right, let's go through the corrections. And I'm not a CS, so for Oririd, great name. Pravesh, I'm sorry that you have COVID. I hope that this stream can bring you some little happiness and help you feel better. Hope you feel better soon. I'm not, just to make a correction, I am not a computer science professor. I do not, I am part, I teach at the Tisch School of the Arts in an interactive media department. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go to corrections. Corrections. So a couple things. One is, let's see, I'm very excited that we'll be returning back to the Apple II today and trying to port a project here. One of the things that happened yesterday, do you see my face, how I'm talking to you? I had cropped it in OBS, cropped the video in OBS right about here, and I didn't realize that. So I was in this position most of the stream, talking to the camera while typing. I didn't look and check. The whole time in yesterday's live stream, you don't see my face. So I think I fixed it just now. Let me know if that's the case. We'll come back here in a bit. That's correction number one. Correction number two. Let's see. Look at this! I fixed my Curiosity Stream banner. So let me have a mulligan here. Yesterday's stream and today's stream is sponsored by Curiosity Stream. And the reason why I was so excited for this sponsorship and this collaboration is I recorded a new course. If we go to here and here, apologies for those of you who tuned in yesterday that this is a total repeat, but I imagine there's quite a few new viewers today. If I go to nebula.tv /whatiscode, Nebula is a wonderful streaming service built by creators, including myself, and owned by creators. And if you if you like a certain set of interesting educational YouTubers, I have a feeling you're going to find most of them on Nebula, and you can watch all of their videos ad-free. There's Nebula First, so a lot of videos get posted to Nebula before they go onto YouTube. There's lots of wonderful aspects of the site. If I'm going to go to featured and sort of see what's going on here. But what I wanted to mention was classes. There's all these wonderful classes, one of which let's see if mine is still up here in this like top row. It doesn't look like it is, but all these awesome ones are somewhere here. We would find mine if we kept looking. But what is code? And so it used to be that this was a separate purchase that I mentioned on many previous videos, but now it just comes with Nebula. But the best way for you to get it is through the Curiosity Stream bundle. This is the cheapest way, at least. It's like a price hack. So if you go to curiositystream.com/choo-choo, the link in the description, sign up for Curiosity. By the way, you're getting thousands of Curiosity Stream documentaries. I'm talking about Nebula because that's where my Apple II class is that you might be interested in because you're watching this. But Curiosity Stream is an incredible range of content as well. So if you go to that link, you'll get Curiosity Stream plus Nebula for a full year for $14.79 for the entire year. It's a bundle. It's like a little over $1 a month. And then if you want classes, just for a one-time fee of $10, you can upgrade to have classes or $1 a month. So technically, you could watch my class for $1 extra if you watch it all in the same month, I suppose. I think you would just, once you're there, you're going to realize there's so much other stuff you want. But anyway, so I just wanted to get that out of the way at the beginning of the live stream and correct that. I might mention that link again later. If you've got any questions about that, come to the Discord, ask me. All right, so those are two corrections. Yes. Speaking of the Discord, this is what I wanted to mention. The Discord, so a lot of these things are in my announcements on Discord, which I'm showing you right now. I talked about, I'm not going to go through all this other stuff, but here's the links also to the Curiosity Stream bundle and the Nebula class. But what I wanted to show you that I'm really excited about is that our Discord, the Coding Train Discord, now has help forums. So there's lots of fun, lively chatter of just people hanging out and talking about I don't know, Coding Train, and there's a pets channel, which is my favorite channel. There's the introductions channel, which is actually truly my favorite channel because I love hearing about where people are from and how they found the Coding Train and what they're interested in and their hobbies. I really want it to be a place for people just to enjoy meeting each other and hanging out in an online space. But one of the things that I feel like we were never able to successfully really do until I would say now it's really happening is be able to provide help. Oh, Stefan from Germany, hello. And I will catch you up. Name. Name. I love that name. I've never really found the right tool for people to be able to ask for help and get help with their code as it relates to the coding train. So certainly this is not perfect, but let's go take a look at it. The help forums. So you can see here now, if you want help with your code, you can create a forum post. And most of these I'm noticing are like very active. Maybe I'm just going to look through here to see there is one here that only has one comment. So maybe that's one we'll take a look at. Here's another one with one comment. So there's a few. Here's one with 0. Maybe we'll look at this one since it has 0. But most of these are pretty active. You can see that they're new. And so there's a lovely community of folks in here who are helping each other out with their code, discussing coding problems. I have to admit, as you can see, it says 24 new posts. So I'm not able to be in there on a regular daily basis answering a lot of questions. Not to mention the fact that I'm an old man and I don't know very much anymore. I mean, I want to thank, just speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to FT Ermel, who watched the live stream yesterday and just opened this total pull request to help optimize the build of the Coding Trade website in Gatsby. And I'm looking at this and be like, I don't know how any of this works. I don't understand it. Somebody asked a question in the forum about this. I'd be like, I don't know. I got to ask a question too, because I don't know how to do any of this. So I'm just thrilled for the community who's been so generous and helpful with the website, who's being so generous and helpful with these forum posts. And I just want to say thank you and let everyone know about this. Did I name the stream the Coding Trail on purpose? Yes. No, but I meant for it to be, but I don't remember doing that. Yes. Okay. So I kind of wanted to look, I don't have a ton of time and it's already been a half an hour and I want to really begin this project in earnest. And welcome to Simon, one of Coding Train's most loyal viewers. And I always think of Simon when I say that because I think once I said royal by accident, like a little Freudian slip, if you will. And I think Simon truly is a royal viewer of the Coding Train. Okay. Let's look at this one. It has one comment. And I'm going to open this wider so I can see it better. Look at all this. Look at me messing with these windows. Okay. Oops. No. Okay. No. Okay. I haven't completed typing everything, but until here it is working the way it should. Okay. So one thing I would say is to Mushy, is that I'm not sure exactly what you're asking about. So one thing that I would say, like if you're posting your code questions that can be helpful, and I know for many of you, English is not your first language, and so that is a big challenge to overcome if you're in a, English-centric Discord server. So I would love to think about ways to make it friendlier and more accessible for a global audience. But I'm not, so thinking about what the question is, also sometimes including a screenshot. So if this code is not working the way you think it should, and you have an image of what the output is currently doing, as well as an image of what you think it should look like, that can be helpful. Posting the code is always excellent. A couple notes about this in Discord is if I do this, that's a way of noting that this is going to be pre what's that? Now I'm forgetting what pre-formatted text. What does the pre stand for? I forget. Pre, but which will look like this. But if you want to syntax highlight it, you can add a JavaScript or a different language, and you can see now it's syntax highlighted. So that's always something I recommend when you're posting your code. But often even better with the P5 web editor, just posting a link to the code in the web editor is a really good way of when you're asking for help, because then, otherwise I'm sitting here and I'm kind of copying and pasting it. And I would say snippets are better in here, but a huge block of code is very hard to parse and read inside of Discord. So let's take a look and see if we can help at all. So I see that this looks like something, and then the poster, Mushy, maybe is expecting it to look like this. You know what? I know what it is. Okay. So let's take a look. Let's see if we can fix this. So fascinating. So first of all, I'm seeing dots here. I was expecting to see text. Oh, they're points. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So this is also doing something totally different than what I see here. So this, I think, is going to merit some more time. This is pretty cool, though. Well, this would be a great coding challenge. It looks like they tried to take this code and then kind of fork it, not fork it, just sort of adapt it, and you can see some JavaScript code. So I think this is perhaps not. Unfortunately, this is not a great question for me to pursue right here. I'll try to return to this. Hopefully somebody can remind me or tag me maybe in this thread later. Not right now, because I won't then. The notification will come in and I'll see it later. But if anybody wants to kind of help, maybe we can take it upon ourselves as a community to see if we can get this working. I love the idea of doing this as a coding challenge itself, to create an ASCII rendered donut. That's pretty cool. Okay. So I always wanted to ask, this is a great question from Stefan. Are we just talking about processing Java, JavaScript, or can we ask about anything coding related? Swift, Swift UI, Swift Playground. Okay. So great question. The short answer is the Discord and the community is not limited to processing Java, JavaScript, and P5.js. Definitely not. Any question related to the coding train world, which encompasses all code work and beyond, really, is welcome here in the Discord. So certainly, if you have questions about Swift, Swift Playgrounds, all these things, opening a question here. There is a tagging system. So you probably would want to tag it as other. If you think it makes sense to include something like Swift in this list, then I would suggest pinging Station Manager, the moderation team who sort of handles and curates this stuff. But I think other is pretty good catch-all for other things. I just think be aware that I don't have an accounting of this. I haven't done a sort of deep dive into the sort of skills and the depths of skills in the community, but probably there are fewer people who are around in the Discord who know about these things, but they may be interested and would love to take a look and participate. So yes, please, all topics related to code and the universe of creativity and design and interactive media and working with computers are all welcome here. So Starkey asks a great question. Just joined the Discord. How come I don't have the help and questions tab on it? So most likely, if you just join the Discord, all you see is README. And so I know that there are newer systems for how Discord can onboard people, and Kobe, I believe, is working on that. But you probably have a role called waiting to board. Let me see if I can find you. So a whole lot of people just joined. Starkey 3000, let's see. Starkey 3000. So yeah, if I look at you, Starkey, I see that you have this waiting to board role. And so I could actually manually remove that and it would unlock everything. But what you need to do is read through this README, which gives you all of the pertinent information about what the different channels are for, what the different roles are. And I need to actually update some of these, I realized, because Sai has moved on to bigger and better things. And thank you to CJ who helped. A lot of this is pulled from the Coding Gardens Discord. But once you react with an emoji to the code of conduct, sort of accepting the code of conduct of the community, then it should unlock all the channels for you. You won't see some of these channels that are for supporters only. I know you can't even see this right now because I'd have to move it over. And then just as a key thing is I often post links to things here and just check the announcements recently because I've posted a lot of stuff there. Okay. And everyone wish Simon well, who has broken his arm. Hopefully it's healing smoothly. All right. So yes, Prathamesh is saying Daniel starts coding within 40 minutes of starting the stream challenge impossible mode. Look, can we make that happen? Yes. We got 4 minutes. All right. So let's get going. What is the work of today? And I don't expect to get super far with this, which is why I probably need to ultimately work on this not while streaming or do a more sort of ambient stream. But let's go to repositories and let's go to, oh, whoops. Oh, wait a second. Help. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't realize that yesterday I put the repository under Shiftman, not coding train. So let's fix that. Speaking of corrections, settings, settings. It's usually here somewhere. Transfer the ownership. Sorry, I can barely see my screen. Coding train. This is the worst. This is what I always do. It says type this to confirm because it really wants to make sure you really want to do it. And I always just copy paste it. Okay. So now I've got to find my two-factor code. So please bear with me. Look, I can play music now, though. No? Oh, not now. Okay. So let's go ahead and clone this repo. Sure, we'll also install the iTerm update. Why not? We got some folks from Sweden in the house. Guess what? I'm sorry I missed you, but I was in Sweden over the summer. Had the opportunity to visit your lovely city of Stockholm. I had an incredible time. I know this is probably very touristy, the sort of obvious tourist thing, but the Vasa Museum was incredible. I also really enjoyed the ABBA Museum. I had some lovely food, some lovely beer, some good coffee even. Had a really wonderful time there. And it was pretty brief, but I was only in Stockholm. So that was my only regret. I'd love to visit more of Sweden. I would. One of my dreams is to go on a trip up as north as you can go up in Northern Europe and see the Northern Lights, maybe stay in one of those ice hotels. I don't know, maybe this is like me being like a sort of like really embarrassing American, but that sounds really cool to me. Okay, let's just put it on the desktop, grab this repo, open it up in VS Code. Okay, let's actually only open that repo up. So we're going to get the beginning of this going today. And let's also, let me merge this. Thank you to Python coder Unicorn, who helped create this text file, which is going to prove enormously useful for today's work. Enormously useful, incredibly useful. All right, so let's bring this in, and okay, sure. We'll take a look at this. Great. All right, now what I would like to do, wow, so many people from Sweden. That's really cool. The Discord invite on the website is outdated. We're really working on this, people. So why does this keep happening? We went through a whole round of this. So apologies for that. Please file a GitHub issue for the website, noting that so we can fix it. But yesterday I checked, and if you go to thecodingtrain.com/Discord, thecodingtrain.com/Discord, that should take you to a valid invite, I hope. Okay, so let's move on over to the Apple II briefly. Oh, where's my button for that? Okay. Okay, we're going to move over to the Apple II. And I'm going to apologize in advance because those of you who are the young and have all your faculties and wits about you, which is not me. My brain moves so slowly these days, but my ears do not hear sounds above a certain frequency. And this monitor emits a very high-pitched whine. It's an old-fashioned CRT monitor, and I should have set it up to put a low-pass filter, but I have not. So you might be hearing that. Apologies for that. Once I get back over to the computer, it does not transfer that far. So this is actually all I wanted to do, which is I wanted to have this opening screen because this, in many ways, is the first thing that I would like to implement today during the live stream. So I have this as a reference. We can play it as necessary. And then I'm going to go. So somebody asked, and I could put the, maybe what I'll do is just put in the top, I don't know where, but let's, video capture device. Let's bring in a picture-in-picture of it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, I should have had this prepared. Maybe this is unnecessary, but I would like to. I don't know why that. I'm sorry about the. I'm sorry, Blue Boo. Is anybody if somebody who has access to Discord invite URLs and could help with that, I will deal with that in a moment. Sorry, Apple II. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's move this up here in a place where I'm just going to like leave it up here as a very small reference. So apologies about the Discord. I don't know if Kobe is watching in particular who can help with that, but I will get that sorted, Blue Boo. And so somebody remind me when the stream is wrapping up, perhaps. Okay. So, and I guess probably makes more sense for me to just go over here, but here's the real question. This is the $64,000 question. Do I want to do this? entirely as canvas? Or do I want to create this as DOM elements? And let me talk you through what I see as the pros and cons of each. And actually, what I'll do here is, I'm really getting kind of ridiculous about this. Oh, sorry everybody, it's me with a giant green screen. Okay, let's just put me here and chroma key that. Great. Okay, so look at the tiny, look at the giant Oregon Trail. I want to be able to talk to you with this here. I guess I could make myself a little bigger. A little bit absurd. Okay, so pros and cons. So for me, I like the idea of doing this in Canvas because it is more it reflects the reality of this very low resolution pixel space, right? DOM elements, divs and all of that jazz. Paragraphs are all kind of have all of these features for responsive design and the sort of modern capabilities of the web. And if I want to create something kind of true to the look and feel of this game, having a fixed canvas, which doesn't mean I couldn't resize it and alter the sort of dimensions, I think would be more true to the look and feel of it. The disadvantage to doing Canvas, the downside is the text would be not selectable, sort of viewable as part of like the source of the page. It would make, inevitably, I think we'd have some issues around accessibility, although, come to think of it, this could be a really nice opportunity to investigate creating a Canvas game that is accessible. And what I mean by accessible is works with a screen reader. So DOM elements, have built-in features to be able to be read to screen reader users. Whereas Canvas, there are capabilities to do that, but it's a bigger challenge, especially when something is highly visual or animated at a very fast, frame rate. But with this, I wouldn't have that issue. I just would have to build in some hooks to read the text on screen, describe the images. I kind of like this idea now. Canvas presents the most interesting challenge, says Byte Spider, which I like that. The other thing so I'm not doing this because this doesn't exist. Like, let's look. I have an Oregon Trail emulator. Like, let's just see. ClassicRoad.com. Start. This is like made with some like plugin, I guess. Blue. Okay. I can't look at this. It's all ads or whatever. Retro games. So here's one. I guess it's running in an actual emulator, perhaps. Oh, this is a 1990. Oh, you can't see this. This is a 1990 version of it. Wow, that's cool. So yeah, so this is emulating the sort of like 1990 DOS version of it. Let's see, Oregon Trail, JavaScript. Let's try that. I should have researched this in advance. A reimagining. So somebody's 6 years ago did this. Oh dear. So this looks very much like what I want to do. Already done. These are DOM elements because they're selectable. Oh, interesting. So I do quite like this. And it has an interface and it has new images. So this is kind of exactly what I want to build. But I still think, the point of this is the learning and the challenge of doing it. Let's just take a quick peek at the code just to sort of understand it. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is kind of what I imagine doing, and is a lot of DOM element stuff. So this is very clever design that it sort of feels like it could easily be Canvas. And what is this font? Because I'm going to want to use a font like this. It is, can I find it here? I would think that it would show inherit. I don't see it in font family VT323. Yeah, VT323 font. Ah, yes. So this could be a great font to use. So Kathy says, I think you should update to modern times. So I don't know if you mean the visual style of it or the content. My goal for the project is to stay true to the visual style of it. So that doesn't mean the interaction couldn't be a bit more clever and more fluid, and there couldn't be some additional like fun animations. But I want, it's important to me for the way I'm thinking about this project and also just my own sort of like capabilities and keeping things constrained, to keep the original visual design. Content-wise, the reason to do this ultimately is not to play the Oregon Trail, but to have the coding trail. Well, I want to make it somewhat templatable. So I'm imagining kind of like a big JSON file that has all of the narration and the data and all the stuff in it. So you could like basically write your own Oregon Trail story, retitle the game. So that's content. Oh yeah, so the content, absolutely. But right now I don't want to have to develop the content. So it's easier for me to just use the precise content of the Oregon Trail. And then once it's sort of up and running, we can start to rewrite and redo the content. That's kind of my thinking. Okay, Terminus font. I'm afraid to like just look at this, but I'm going to trust screenshots. All right, this is not showing me anything, but oh, cool. Ah, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think I used this font in, I don't know if it was this font that Mathieu used in the recent Apple II video. Okay. So that's the question. That's a starting point. And I don't think that, and let me go back to here. I don't think that any decision that I make right now that I'm going to be so far along in the project that we couldn't switch gears and change it to DOM. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me put up a poll. Yeah, I never do what the audience says in a poll. So in fact, I have some like affliction, which is to do the opposite. Oregon Trail, Canvas. So no matter what, this is going to be Canvas or it's going to be P5. And the reason why I have this other laptop here so I can create the poll like this and still talk to you. I look so weird when I'm over here, like off in Never Neverland, but I have a computer over here. That's what you can't see. Canvas or DOM. Curious to see. The thing that I worry about doing DOM that is that everyone's going to complain that I'm using the P5 DOM library, which is a little bit wonky. So I'm kind of interested in Canvas, to be honest. It's what I'm leaning towards starting today. And while that poll is going, let's at least start to create a bit of a framework here. What image did we get? Oh, thank you for this. Yeah, I choose DOM so you do it in Canvas, right? No, don't try to game the system. Basically what I'm saying is if you vote DOM, I might think about doing it in DOM, but probably still do Canvas. If you vote Canvas, I'll just be more clear about where I'm starting. I fully expect that I think there's a significant chance, definitely a non-zero chance that I start with Canvas and change to DOM later. Or kind of use Canvas but put DOM. I could also, what makes sense is actually to have fixed position DOM elements over the canvas. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. I haven't even like started this. We got to get going. So I'm going to make a file called index.html. I'm going to make a file called sketch.js. And I don't know what's going on here. It should not be in the image directory. Neither should index.html. So let's move that. Let's go to the web editor. And let's just grab this. And let's go to the web editor. Oh, I don't need to grab anything for, oh, yeah. Okay. So, and let's take a look here. Oh, you're not seeing me again. I'm sorry. See, this is why I shouldn't go to that screen, because I'm going to forget. So sorry about that. It is, I did correct it just now. It would be interesting to try to do this in BASIC. And actually what I should do is I should grab the code for it. Do I have a, all right, well, one step at a time. Canvas is winning a, yes, to be clear again, I'm not going to use the original graphics. The content is entirely going to change. The look and feel of it should be the same. Whatever new graphics will be pixelated in the same style as the old graphics. That's the idea. Okay. So let's create a style.css in case we're going to need that. Let's add the ubiquitous setup and draw. Whoops. And let's just try. Let's try this font just because it's a Google font. So I should be able to load it easily. How do I? Okay, wait. I know how to do this. I don't want to download it. Isn't there a way here to get the like it should give me like the CSS for select. Yeah. So I think I can do this. Right? If I put this, I'm just curious, right? I think if I, for any font, and I'm sorry this is small, I think if I copy this, put this in the HTML, and then, now why did this not format? I don't know, but I'm going to manually do it. And then I think if I were to go into style and do body, and again, I have to be more specific about this at some point, and grab this. Press start 2P looks like an 8-bit font. Oh, and I'm seeing some, oh no, stop. Input handling is much easier to do in HTML instead of, yeah, I know that input handling is much easier to do in HTML, but so there's a comment here which is saying input handling is much easier to do in HTML instead of in Canvas. But you have to remember, this was not written with HTML DOM and complex input in mind. Like, there's very little input that I need. Which number on the keyboard did the person press? Did they say yes or no? What number did they enter? So writing a little engine to get that basic amount of input from the user, the player, is not going to be, it's going to be work, but that's kind of an interesting challenge, and I think a throwback to how these systems were originally done. But anyway, so yeah, I just want to get a sort of hello world thing going here. So I'm going to say text align, center, center. Let's do create canvas 640. Well, so the Apple II is 280 by 192, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, 280. So let's multiply that by 2 just to sort of like double the resolution. And let's say text, the Oregon Trail. Width divided by 2, height divided by 2. We'll put that in the center. text size. Let's try like 64 and fill of 250. I got to turn off that autocomplete and no stroke. So if you've never seen P5 before, friendly creative coding environment for drawing into Canvas with a lot of other hooks, with a very nice API. Okay, so let's go to, and let me run a little server here. In fact, let me actually use live server, and I could run a server through VS Code. Okay, there we go. Thank you, everybody. This is Thank you. We're done. Yeah. Okay. All right. What was Simon's great idea in the chat? I missed it. Okay, well, maybe the Codagon trail. Okay, so why didn't my font work? So that would be, did I tick, no? I mean, this shouldn't matter, the order, right? Oh, you know why? Canvas is not going to pick up the font. Interesting. So how do I... This is an interesting question. P5 load font. Let's take a look. So it could be an asset. That's if I want to load it as a file, but that's not what I want to do unless I can put the URL. Text font. Well, what would happen if I, text font. Let's see. And again, I'm going to use I'm not saying this is the font I'm going to use. I just wanted to sort of see. There we go. Okay, that worked. Okay, awesome. Great. So we've got this. Clearly not exactly the same font, but something close to this font here. Pretty interesting. All right, so we've begun. So let's think now a bit more holistically about this project. And I'm going to check the time. I think I'm probably going to wrap up around 5:30, which is a half an hour from now. So again, this really would, if I'm really going to build this, we'd need like an all-day stream. Yeah, so making it a CLI in Node would be super fun. Like that's a really fun idea, a fun project, but not going to make it as easily sort of playable or usable for a wider audience as it would be if it's just on the web. Okay. So let's take a look at what Python Unicorn Coder had offered. So Python Unicorn Coder, I don't know whether what they were able to find this or just took notes, but this is awesome because it's given us a really nice long script for the whole game. But I think what would be useful to do as an exercise, and I'm kind of doing this without a lot of planning or note-taking, but I would like, I'm just going to call it let's call it game.json, I guess, maybe. What I would like is to create a data file, and I'm calling it game.json, which stores all of the metadata for the game. So, and our reference is up here. I can't see this at all. So like, for example, let's just put it to there. So, for example, I think this is going to need a lot of work. But just to start, like imagine if I had a, let's just think about this for a second, like a array called choices. And in those choices would be the options like travel the trail, learn about the trail, see the Oregon top 10, and turn sound off. Turn sound off. So, the idea here, ZDAX, that is you, great. So the idea here is that for any given sort of like page of the game, part of the game, the story, the choices, the story, and the data are all inside of this JSON file. So what I want to do is like play through the game a little bit. So let's imagine, I think what I'm going to need is, like we'll call this, we're going to have to do this a little bit on the fly, like intro, which is an object, which has the choices, the prompt, which might be the same for everything. What is your choice? And then, like, you know, maybe it would have a, you know, image. You could imagine there being like what was this? There's this. Like, imagine if what I did was crop this image and only kept the top. Let's try that just as a sort of exercise. Okay. So again, this is not, I'm going to really have to rethink the way the source code to the original game was late, says Joshua Walker. Thank you for that. Let's go look. I missed a membership upgrade. Okay. It's hard to keep track of everything. No, the super chat I see. Someone joined at the conductor level. Okay, fine. Interrupt me. Someone who joined at the conductor level. There's got to be a way for me to find out who you are. Welcome. Thank you for joining the coding train at the conductor level. Ah, it's Joe who gifted a membership. Thank you, Joe. I forgot that we have membership gifting. That's very, 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 very much appreciated. Joe has been a wonderful new member of the Coding Train, posting a lot in the Discord. I owe you a reply to an excellent set of questions that you sent me that I've really been thinking about. Just I haven't had a chance to dig into it yet. Okay, so let's do, let's call this title.png. So imagining then there's going to be like title.png. So this is like kind of the idea that I'm thinking about. The intro is going to have a set of choices, a prompt, and a title card. So we can now go. I just want to like go through and start playing the game. So I'm going to go over, and I got to end this poll because it's blocking my view of the chat. So, oh no, end poll. Okay. Okay. Well, sorry. I'm sorry for whatever I missed. It's not showing on my screens. I can only do what I can do. Okay. Going to the Oregon Trail. Come join the Discord so I can say thank you. Okay. Yeah, BB asked if is Dan. I don't know. I want to keep doing Twitch, and I would have normally done this in Twitch, but I was streaming yesterday on YouTube, and I got the setup, and then I thought I should continue it if I go back and forth. So I'm really lost. So your help and thoughts and advice. And I'm going over to there. So I'll be right there in a second. I just, apologies. Okay. I'm going over now to here. And so I think for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother to work through, learn about the trail, or see the Oregon top 10. I really have trouble pronouncing Oregon because I think there's a proper way to pronounce it. I know it's incorrect to say Oregon. That's definitely wrong. But Oregon, is that right? I think. I'm not looking at the chat right now, so sorry I didn't bring my laptop over here. But I'll be back over there in a second. Travel the trail. So if we go to travel the trail, so now we need to do this screen. So, so I don't know to what extent it's useful to do all this data entry, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to do this, at least do this. Okay. Actually, I'm going to skip this because now we kind of understand what I need to do for this. It's just data entry. So let's just, I'm going to go ahead and do the banker again. That's what I did yesterday, just to kind of do that and see, okay, what is the first name of the wagon leader? Okay, so we need this is important. We're going to need I'm going to call it game for right now. And I don't know what to call the people who ride the wagon. Oh, DJ Mangus is Oregon. Okay, the Oregon Trail. Thank you, DJ Mangus. So what are the people who ride the wagon? So there will be an array with the people who are riding. I mean, I guess do we need to keep the leader separate? I don't know, call them passengers, which would be an array. So like, for example, if I entered my name, yesterday we had Choo Choo, this dot. And obviously this wouldn't be in the JSON in advance because it would be empty. It's just sort of like loaded, and then these things would get filled in. I haven't thought this through. Maybe we need a separate data structure, but I'm going to keep going with this because I'm figuring this out. Okay, so that's the idea, but let's leave it empty. Knowing that the idea is for it to be filled in. And let me go over to here. So this would also need, this would be part of the story. I'm just going to say, just going to put Dan. This is what I did yesterday. So again, so one of the things that people could do today after the stream, if this seems like a good direction, is help do the data entry for all of these different screens, pages. Are these names correct? Yes. And then, all right, so then we need something for this screen with the text. Okay. Okay, so now we have the month that you're leaving. So again, this is just something to enter, just like before. So I'm not going to go back and type this in. I'm just going to put in April. And this would be another page. So money, how much cash you have is very important. So cash, and then your inventory. So, okay. So let's go back and think. So again, I'm not so sure everything needs to be in this JSON file, or it's a matter of me just creating variables, right? Because like the amount of money could be just its own variable. But I think what I'd like to do right now as I'm kind of working this out is have everything be in here. And so this would be the amount of money you have. So you can imagine like it's going to start with some amount. Then we would have an inventory, which would be another object with properties like oxen, and then the number. So all these would start as 0. Like this would get filled in. Oxen, what were the other things? A team of oxen, clothing. I know there's food. And there was, what else was there? Recommend having a JSON data structure to hold all the game state. Exactly. That's what I'm hoping to do here. State machine we're definitely going to need. Conductor, right. I mean, certainly this should be the conductor. But again, I'm just going to use the language and the story of the Oregon Trail right now. Food, okay. That computer is very far away. It would make more sense for me to do this with an emulator. So before I leave, I'm going to see if I can get the code. Okay, clothing. And I don't think I switched the screen. Sorry about that. Clothing, food, ammunition, spare parts for the wagon. Food, ammunition, spare parts. Oh, this would have made things easier if I just saw this. Okay. So we've got oxen, food, clothing, ammunition, spare parts. Oxen, clothing, food, ammunition. Spare parts. Now the prices, I should also, what if I made a slide class and would render and wait for input. Yeah, so these are all great ideas. I don't know how to organize doing this in a sort of collective way. I think what I would love is for those of you who have the idea, if you want to contribute and work on some of these features after today, because I am going to wrap up pretty soon, I'm not going to get much further, is like file an issue with a sort of short description of what you want to try to implement. And then I can kind of like give you the thumbs up. I will try to stay really like a close eye on this repo over the next week. And then so people can also track and don't have, both people aren't kind of doing the same thing. But I know this is tricky because the sort of foundation isn't really there yet. Game state and game config text should be separate files though, since one will be read only and one will be read write. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So these should be also the price. Like the game state, in a way, I don't even need it to be a JSON file. Like I'm not really intending to implement this. I would use local storage. So I guess if I'm using local storage to save the game state so somebody could leave and come back to their browser, that would make sense. So, all right, I think what I need to do, because is start to wrap this up and file a bunch of issues with sort of some plans, and people could, I might work on it knowing these plans. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a hold on this right now. Yeah, the money is $1,600, right. So this is the thing, this is the disconnect right now. The money is $1,600. But that value doesn't go in here. That value is listed with, okay, so these are like, what are I would call them professions. So the professions our banker. Which gets $1,600. And there might be more to it. So we like the name of the profession is the banker. The money is $1,600, right? So this is why I'm mixing up the important details, which was what I can't remember which viewer just said. And I have somebody, by the way, who asked about the art. So I have somebody who is interested in helping who specializes in pixel art and who is interested in helping create all the art. So certainly if somebody's interested in that, let me know. And I probably just use as placeholder, I'm going to kind of like screenshot the actual art from the game and just put it in there. But eventually the idea is to have updated new art. The profession also has an effect on score. So right, all of the details for each profession would go here. I don't know if anybody knows off the top of their head what amount of money the farmer has, but I'm just going to put 0 in right now. So this is really the game state, and I think I should take this out here now. Because, so let's do game. I'm going to call this game data. And I am going to do game state, which would be this. Part of me actually wants to make this. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to actually call it state.js. So I'm going to have a JavaScript file which stores the state of the game in a variable. So the idea here is that the game state is not the data we're loading, right? It's ultimately there is a little bit of an issue here because the language here probably has to match in some way, and maybe what the initial state, like maybe it makes sense for the initial state to be part of the JSON file. I don't know. See, there's so many different ways we could take this, and that's why I'm interested in getting people's opinion, of people just jumping in. But the idea is that this is the current state of the game, and it's empty when the game begins. Then, when you select being a banker, the amount of money that's tied to the banker would go into your current money in the state of the game. So, but I am just going to say, and let's just see if still loads. Let's do git add git commit starting the foundation for the game. And I'm sorry you can't really see what I'm doing down here. Git push. Well, I didn't create another branch, but that's okay. By the way, if you forget to create another branch and you want to do a pull request, I can push the main branch to a different branch on GitHub itself by doing this. Live, I'll just call it live stream 2. And then I'm going to open up a pull request here. And this is from today's live stream. And if I go to YouTube and the coding train, I should presumably be able to find this. Right, it might make sense to make it a class. Maybe the game state should be a class. I like that idea. So I'm just going to go ahead and merge it. I mean, I could leave it unmerged so people could comment on it, but I think that's going to be more confusing. So let's start by merge attempt failed. Oh, I probably hit it twice. It has a conflict. What is going on? What just happened? What? How is this even possible? What did I do? Okay, fine. Let's do this. Let's do this. Git fetch. Git checkout live stream 2. Oh no. Yeah. I don't know what's going on here. I think I hit the merge button twice. Yeah. Oh, so, yeah. I don't know what just happened. Did I push it to the wrong thing? I have no idea what's going on. This is very weird. Nobody knows. I don't know what I just did. So strange. I'm just going to close this pull request and just walk away slowly from this. One thing I want to do is add a git ignore file. And put ds store in it. And remove. I should really I want to set this up with Netlify as well. Remove, git, remove. No, git rm. There we go. Great. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so great. So, all right. State's got to keep track of health. Yeah, everything. So let me think here. Let me start creating some issues. Do I still have that? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to close this issue. So I am now looking for in the chat or I lost the Discord supporter chat. Richard VD Veen, thank you, is the welcome to conductor. So Richard, if you're still watching, I appreciate. Thank you for your support. Make sure you link your Discord account. Come and say hi in Discord. Font for the title page. Okay, great. So, okay. So fonts. So no brainer. Chris Sears, who just suggested a font that'll work well. Anybody who wants to pull request the font, go for it. So what are some things that people who are watching could do? So one is create class to store game state. Okay, so that I welcome. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't rebase. It's not for me. That's very exciting, and I'm sure it's very, it's kind of like a big party when everyone's Git rebasing. But for me, I just merge. So, what are some things just based on what we've seen today that you could imagine doing that I should create issues for, is what I'm looking for in the chat. Or maybe I should just go work on this more on my own and then come back to another live stream and let you all know where I am. All right. Let's do create a class. Okay. Let's see. Data. Okay. Create a class to store game state. All right. I'm just going to file that issue. Okay, yes. So the idea is using the text file. So the text file just is exactly what we need. Just needed to be adapted into the JSON format. Okay. Adapt text file script into JSON format. That's something that somebody could work on potentially. Another thing could be that I'm thinking of is render a slide. Maybe there's a better term. But taking the data from game data.json and rendering the text and choices. So like a framework, a simple engine for user input. So we can use the P5 key press function to just kind of like keep track of user input. Then I also want to accessibility. Screen reader support for each game slide. What's the game page? Describe P5JS. Yeah, we should be able to use this. Read prompts and describe imagery for screen readers. P5's describe function might be enough. Okay. Meant to grab this URL here. Okay. All right. Right, the shop, right. So you could use, each screen or slide can also accept input, theme it. You can use labels to mark the tasks, right? All these are great suggestions. The shop interface is its unique one, is kind of unique. So like maybe there is a, what are list of possible classes? So there's the shop. There's sort of like an interface slide class. Shop extends interface slide. Keyboard input class. So again, I'm kind of just making up stuff as I'm talking here. If I were building this just all on my own, I probably wouldn't be trying to architect it so much. I just start like making the first page, and then as I go on, I'd refactor a bit. But and I'm not really worried about the visual design right now because that can be cleaned up. What I would like is kind of like a core framework for the game, just to like be able to start it with reduced amount of options, play through a few pages, and that's kind of what I'm looking to do. Okay. So what else can I possibly do before I go here? So people jump right in to comment, file your own issues, to propose things, the ways, make your, look, prickin', there you are. We'll see. I mean, I guess I'm going to work on this a bit this weekend and over the course of next week. What I wanted to do, let's see if I have the tools for this. Okay, so let me go over this. One of the things I'm curious to see is if, I don't know if this game itself, the one that you're seeing here, is actually written in BASIC. But I want to look at the disk image of the Oregon Trail game, which I have on this micro SD card, and I can put it into here. The only thing is I need a card reader, which I have somewhere in this room. Found it. So I'm coming back over here. I also need a Windows computer, which is not this one. So I might love to get some help from any of you who are watching here. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. Put this here. Hopefully this is going to appear. Okay, great, perfect. Apple II stuff, 5 1/4 discs, games. So Oregon Trail 1 and 2.do. That's not a format that I'm used to seeing, but let's put these on the desktop. So one thing I'm curious about is, first of all, before I go, is can I open, will it support these DO files? Let's see. Yes, awesome. So you watching at home, the version we're doing, this version, the 1985 Apple II version, you can play this. So would it be weird for me to put in the repo these two files? They're tiny files, so I think it's fine. I think they're public domain. So let me add, let's go here. So this is going to help everybody. So let's add a file, upload files. All right, no. All right, let me just put them in. Let's create a branch. So a couple things. I'm going to move some stuff around and put this in there. It's a little silly, but just in case, let's do some like file management here. And let's create a folder called original. And let's put these disk images there. So if anybody, if we want to check, I'm looking at the chat, create an asset folder. However, there is a reason you don't usually find that version online, but instead the 1978 basic version. Am I wrong to want to do this version? I kind of like this version. So let's do this. So git checkout, git branch file management. Let's add the, wait, what happened here? Let's add the original disk 1985 Apple II disk images. Organize files. Okay. Organizing files and adding original disk images for play at here. Okay. Now, what I would like to do is, this is the best version, just not ever released to public domain. Interesting. Thank you, DJ Mangus. Okay, so what I would like to do is, I think, what's the thing? I think it's called Cider. Apple II disk image. Cider press. Yeah. So anybody who's watching on a Windows machine right now, I'm pretty sure that this tool, I know because I've used this and somebody helped me. It was Soren who helped me with this. This tool should allow you to extract a disk image and convert it to raw files that you could open on your Windows computer or on a Mac. So if anybody is watching right now who might be able to very quickly grab these two disk image files and open them with Cider Press, and let me know if you've got the if you're able to access the data that's on these disks, because I'm curious what's there. Is it some kind of binary assembly version of the game? Is there basic code that's running the game? I wonder. So I would love to, I would be curious to know. But Gerald, so now let me talk about one of the reasons why I'm doing this. So I want to make a faithful version of the original to sort of like learn about it and kind of build this. But there is a podcast that I listen to, Oregon Trail, Rob and Akiva. Let's see if we can find this. Rob and Akiva go on the Oregon Trail. This looks like the version that, this is interesting. Is this the version that...
record on the computer.
Oh, they're playing this one.
So is this
So funny. Okay, I'm going to mute this. So this podcast, so I wonder if this is the version that they played through. And I have volunteered, which looks very similar to the version that I played through on the Apple II. This is a slightly later one. So I don't know if, so this is a good question. Which one to model ours after? I think we should go with the Apple II because that's what I have, and it's largely the same. So that's the DOS version. So unless somebody knows, I guess I'll ask this question: is there anything from the DOS version we would like to incorporate? Again, the story is really we could ignore. See DOS Oregon Trail. And I think this is it here. right? I think this is it. Yeah. No. Oh, what happened to that? Lost that page. Where are we? I'm lost. There we go. So I encourage you to check out the podcast, watch that episode. But I have volunteered to create a custom version of the game that for their sequel to that episode where they played the Oregon Trail. And the idea is that, much like if you could imagine, if we can make a version of the game that is like the story of the coding train with the coding train characters, and you're trying to journey to find your way to like the promised land of, you know, your code or whatever, then think of that. What I would like to do is make the same idea for that. This particular podcast was all of its weird and fun inside jokes and characters, and there's a lot of things going on there. So it's a port from the Apple II version, basically the same game. Yeah, that's what I think too. So this is the trajectory here. So if anybody is interested in being involved with this project, I fully understand if you're not, then, you know, go carry on. If you're interested, you know, even in just like a small way, follow the GitHub repo. I'll probably do at least one more live stream, maybe move some of these to Twitch. I don't know. Or if you would like to actually work on the implementation, feel free to chime in on an issue. But probably what would make sense is for us to organize a bit in a Discord, a channel in the Coding Train Discord. So maybe I can set that up depending on the level of interest and who's interested. So I'm going to keep going. There's a Switch version of it. That's interesting. So I'm going to keep going with this. I appreciate all of you for tuning in and watching. This has been a couple hours, close to 2 hours. And if in an ideal world, I would carve out a full day to just really like work on this, maybe without like sort of talking through it even. So maybe that would make sense for like a Twitch stream to just kind of work on this with less, with just sort of like, you know, in a more ambient way and let people contribute. So what else do I want to say before I go? So if you haven't, I guess, so first of all, if this was your first Coding Train live stream, thanks for watching. I've got a huge back catalog of stuff. So enjoy if you like this. You could spend, you know, probably the next 6 months of your life watching all my videos. I don't recommend that. If you've never programmed before and want to get started learning, go to thecodingtrain.com under tracks. This is the track for you, the beginner programming with P5JS. I also want to encourage everybody to check out the sort of latest videos that I've been making about the programming in BASIC on the Apple II, which has kind of led me to this sort of aligning with this Oregon Trail project. And I also want to encourage people I'm just going to pick wave function collapse, if you're making things based on videos that you're watching, there is an entire way for you to submit your work that can be featured on the website itself. There's a submission form. You can also do it as a pull request. And on the homepage, thanks to Kathy, who's been helping with this, we cycle in and out of different featured projects that are just up here on the homepage of the Coding Train that are made by viewers just like you. So want to say that, join the Discord, thecodingtrain.com/Discord. Does that still not work? What's going on? So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm sorry for those of you who have failed to get into the Discord. This should be like the easiest thing in the world. Hold on. I'm going to just do something right now on this other computer, which is do invite, edit invite link, never, no limit, generate an invite link, copy. I am putting an invite link into the YouTube chat right now, one that I just made. I don't understand why my redirect is not working. But if you wanted to join the Discord and you weren't able to, there you go. Just make sure that you read through the README and emoji react to the code of conduct. It will unlock all the channels for you. I would also recommend, you don't need to do this, but if you sync your, if you did sign up for YouTube membership, you should sync your YouTube and Discord account. There's like a setting there in Discord under integrations where you can authenticate to your YouTube account. That will unlock further badges and things for you. And then I created a permanent invite, and we also have a vanity URL invite. I don't know what's going on with that, but regardless, it's there right now. The other thing is, if you are interested in subscribing to Nebula, which is the streaming service that I talked about, that is built by creators, many of which do a lot of educational videos and really interesting videos. There are an amazing amount. I want to look at originals. This is really what I meant to. There are an incredible amount of really fantastic original content that's only available on Nebula. I talked about Jet Lag, which is the show that I really like. Night of the Coconut is a really fun movie. I want to make they have this series called Working Titles. I'm hoping to make a Working Titles episode, which will only be on Nebula for this TV show Severance. And there's an Android app, there's an iOS app, there's lots of ways. I think there's a Roku app that you can watch Nebula videos. So I really recommend taking a look. A lot of the animation stuff is really cool. I'm a huge fan of all the science and engineering videos. So Nebula, but the reason why I'm mentioning it is Nebula has Nebula classes. And here, one of the classes you'll find, this is a great one, by the way, if you're interested in live streaming, from Luria Petrucci, but is my class, What is Code? And this previously was kind of an expensive purchase, but the cheapest way for you to get it now is to go buy the Curiosity Stream bundle. So you get Curiosity Stream, which is over 1,000 documentaries, and all of Nebula together in one package at that URL for $14.79 for the entire year. And then that doesn't actually give you Nebula classes, but once you get access to Nebula, it's only $1 a month more for Nebula classes, or $10 for the whole year. So it's actually cheaper than your standard Nebula subscription to do the bundle plus add-on. So if you have questions about that, you can join the Discord. You can ask me about it. You can contact, I believe it's help@nebula.tv. So thank you. Just wanted to mention that sponsorship here at the end. That's the latest. I just want to read this comment from DJ Mangus. It looks like that version, the later ones, is copyright the learning company, and they don't like people infringing. Don't see why you can't recreate, but probably shouldn't post the disk images. Okay, that's a good point. Okay, so I think I'm going to remove those disk images from the repo. If anybody wants to try to, I guess I could do this now offline. I have a Windows computer right here, so I could just do it myself, but I'm assuming nobody did. Did anybody try extracting those disk images? The link to the repo is pinned. The link to the repo is pinned in the chat. But let me just put it also in the Discord. So where is the Oregon Trail repo? Here it is. Should be pretty easy to find. And I'm going to go to the Discord, and I'm going to go to links, and I'll put it here. So in the links channel, under live. So by the way, for those, one thing I'll say is, like, I do sometimes. Matt Baker just tuned in and said, this just popped up as being live. Have I missed much? So yes, because I'm wrapping up and I'm finishing. I got to go Saturday night, got to have dinner, make dinner and hang out with kids and, I don't know, do weekend family stuff. But If you want to be a person who knows when there will be a live stream in advance, your two best paths are, one, subscribing to the YouTube channel and clicking the bell thing. That should notify you whenever I schedule a live stream in advance. But your most reliable way is to be on Discord and subscribe to the notifications role. So I believe the way that you do that is in the channel bot talk. If you type in !subscribe, I'm already subscribed, so that just removed that role. So I'm going to do it again. That will give you the notifications role. And that is the role that I tag whenever I am scheduling a live stream. Now, sometimes I will tag @everyone, but not usually. That's pretty rare. I don't like to abuse the @everyone, which notifies everybody. But if you want to opt into more notifications from me, that's your best way of doing it. The repo is pinned. Great. So that's all I've got. So thank you, Matt, for your nice comment of saying thanks for the content. I'm sorry. You will. I don't. Sometimes these archives are meaningful for people to watch back later. Sometimes it's really about being here, present in the moment. So, certainly not required, but you can go back. And your main advantage to watching the archive is you can 2x it and skip through stuff. And thank you to Kathy, who has been helping write time codes. So this is a huge shout out to Kathy. Like if you go to my last live stream, by the way, one of the reasons why I'm much more excited to do everything on YouTube now, I was excited about trying Twitch because Twitch has many, many excellent features and for live streaming. But I just really like the way now YouTube is organizing videos, which is, you can see here are all of my video uploads. You can find them right here. Shorts, which I am now diving into. For better or worse, it's a 1-month experiment. Might kill it after the experiment. We'll see how that goes. Honestly, they aren't getting a tremendous amount of traction, which is fine. But I'm getting some positive and some critical feedback. But the live streams are now organized under their own tab. So you can go back and find all the live streams. This is something I really do want to organize better. But I'm here to say thank you to Kathy because, and I don't know why this doesn't happen. It only happens when I'm logged into my account that the chapters don't show up. Let's go. So hold on. I'm going to do quickly switch account. And I'm going to switch to, I have access to the Processing Foundation YouTube. So I don't know why this happens, but now they're there. So one of the things you can do is, thank you to Kathy who put time codes in. So if you're interested in learning about the Coding Train website, I talk about it here. Talk about the recent coding challenge here. Curiosity Stream, this is the sponsor segment here. And this is where I started the playthrough of the Oregon Trail. And I'm in so much pain about the fact that my face, if I skip to that, the whole time, my face is right over there talking to the camera. And I did not realize that I cropped it. So apologies for that. So thank you to Kathy. And if you want, you could go back and look at this yesterday. And as soon as I finish streaming today, this will also be an archive. So yeah, I have lots of mixed feelings about the idea of our kind of social media addictions and short form video, which I do find quite entertaining and interesting in many ways. I don't know where I fit into that world. You can see I tried a few a while ago that were different. And then these are 3 that I made very recently. I'm working with a wonderful team out of Brazil who's been helping me kind of with the sort of editing and production on these. I almost think that one of the issues with these is that the production quality, not what I'm doing, but their work, it's almost too good. Shorts are meant to have kind of this more informal quality to them. Anyway, I can't stop. I'm going on and on. If you post shorts regularly, one every day, it's supposed to help a lot with channel growth. Yeah, and I'm excited to have. I want people to be excited and engaged with their creativity and their enthusiasm for coding and their enthusiasm for helping others with code in all the ways that are possible. So I'm going to try it all. Live streaming, making the videos the way that I do, making shorts. I got to grow with the times, people. Can't just ride on my Oregon Trail coattails. So we'll see. More is coming out. Some of them will just be sort of silly. But my goal with the shorts is to ultimately make informational ones that you can get quick tips out of that will spark your imagination or spark your day. As well as, by the way, I'm going to feature the passenger showcase in shorts. So I think that's also something nice. If you make something for the passenger showcase, I can select it, share it in a short, and it's a nice, it's the circle of life, people. The circle of life. All right, so I've got to go. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you can, I haven't been live streaming very much, and all of a sudden I did 2 days one after another. And who knows, maybe I'll be back tomorrow or Monday. I certainly won't be around most of next week. There's the Thanksgiving holiday happening here. But be on the lookout for shorts. Check in, say hello in Discord. No new videos are coming, but I do hope to record some more. Whatever I do next probably won't be an Apple II video. I've got to take a break from that. I love that you fell in love with Git and GitHub Flammer. Thanks for that. So yeah, I'm letting this little track play. It's got about 2 minutes on it. Any last questions or comments? Please let me know in the chat as I start to close things down here. I'll leave this banner up for any of you who might be interested still in checking out this bundle deal. Gonna start cleaning up and closing things here on my computer. Midnight, it's a good time. The best way to do is to stream everything and cut shorts and highlights out of it. That's certainly something that was kind of my original intention, but I don't know. I'm completely brain dead. This is how Cinderella turns into a pumpkin at midnight or whatever. After 2 hours of streaming, I cannot put words together in a sentence anymore. All right. Good night to Marcus. Come on, say goodbye in the chat at least. No, you don't have to do anything. You should probably have left already. This song is way too long, but I'm committed to the bit of letting it play itself out. Guess I'll read you some random numbers. Thank you, C. 88709 79835 02268 34899 43576. That's what I should just make shorts where all I do is read random numbers. That's someday, next sabbatical, I'm going to make the audiobook of 1,000,000 random digits. That's all I spend the whole year just reading all of the digits. Snail from Brazil. Good night. Daniel. Good night. Finn. Good night. Michelle. Good night. Goodbye. Matt. Parker. Good night. Lucas. Good night. Everyone's saying good night now because you're 30 seconds behind me. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time on the coding train. As always, I always Bye, everybody. This dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot. This dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot. This Goodbye, dot. Lizzie. Good night, Lizzie. This dot. I'm gonna do this dot. This dot. I'm gonna do dot. This dot. This dot. This dot. I'm gonna do this dot. This dot. I'm gonna do this dot. This dot. This dot. I'm gonna do this dot. This dot. I'm gonna do this dot. This dot. This dot. This dot song. This dot. This dot. This dot. Never forget this dot. I'm sorry, Mark Rogers, that you made it just at the end. This dot, this dot, this dot. I agree this dot. That this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. That it's late for most of you, and that wasn't the best way. And I don't need this That wasn't the best way to end the coding train. This will be better. That was too frantic, manic energy that this starts on. 93134. Welcome to Random Number ASMR with the Coding Train. 99080 08088 99211 80001 88691 58425. There's a minute and 45 seconds left of this. I bet you everybody left. Is there anybody still watching? This is great. You're the true fans. You're the true fans. The ones who have stayed. I have no idea what this sounds like. I hope it's not terrible. 48570 53579 64703 97498 67888 0807817 34223 61667 43474 29179 97894 36631 14389 59041 32600 08865 69394 99415. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This has been The Coding Train with me, Daniel Schiffman.